So we're going to be using a black with a white lacy trim and a white with a lacy trim to sort of mimic the check in the sign. We're going to sort of play it along as we go. Like I said, there's the sign. We're going to use a 15-inch wreath form. Hi, Chris. Come on in and say hi. Tell me where you're from. Love the wave. So we're going to be using some blue ribbon with a little bit of a print. We're going to be using some dark orange ribbon and some of the plaid with the pumpkins. Also have some embellishments, maybe some raffia to go in it and all. And we're going to be doing the Woodland Ruffle today. So if y'all are ready, let's get started because it's a little bit of a long process. So hot and humid, huh, Peggy? I tell you, I live in Texas, and I live in South Texas, South Central Texas, and it's hot, like 111, but it's real dry, even though we're on a lake. So, but I was outside of Fort Worth these last week for 3 weeks, and my dad lives on a lake, and I tell you, he is, I thought it was hot and humid here. Oh, goodness, girl. I couldn't even go outside. I couldn't breathe. Couldn't breathe. So, if you're not familiar with the Woodland Ruffle, we're just going to curl it basically 3 times. And then I'm just going to clip it in the middle here. Then I'm going to clip it and flip it, as we can say. Thanks for sprinkling the love, Peggy. If y'all could share, S-H-A-R-E, excuse me, forgot my manners there. Then you're just going to ruffle it up the middle. You're going to bring it all together. I like to start on the bottom ties. Like I said, I've got a 15-inch work frame. And I've already pulled the ties out. And I'm just going to stick it in here and twist it 1 time. Sort of pull it on out. Then next one we're going to do is going to be a white with the black trim. A little talker in here. My cat's in here walking the cabinets over there. He's been quite vocal here lately. 2, 3. Then we're just going to take it up the middle. He's solid black. And it's quite hot. So therefore he's been staying in the house instead of going outside chasing the birds. That one in there. I'm just going to ruffle it on up here. And I've got a little flyaway. We're going to nip it in the bud until you mesh. Let's go ahead and grab 2 more. Hi, Brenda. Well, first time viewer from Mississippi. Well, hello from Mississippi. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Carol. I'm the owner of Desert Wreath Creations. I have just started a Facebook and doing lives about 3 months ago. This is actually my 2nd live video. I'm just trying to further my business. I live in a rural area and I've been crafting for many years. So, thank you, Peggy. That would be awesome. So how's your day today, Brenda? Just sort of pushing them around. Are you a crafter, Brenda? I'm just rolling it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Then what I do is I clip it. Then I flip it. Put something heavy on it, sure helps. And then I roll this in 3 times. So what you get is basically a curl with a ruffle. And this is called the Woodland Ruffle. And you just take it up the middle. Get those heavy pliers off of there. Then you take it, put it in, give it a twist, and then spread it out. Butt your ruffles up to next to each other, like so. Deco mesh will stick to anything. Clothes, everything. What we're doing today, Brenda, is that we are doing a sign here. Let me push it down here. And it is a fall sign from Wreaths by Busy Bee from Brenda. And, well, hi. Is it Gwell? Gwell Sheffield. Well, I'm glad Peggy sent you. We're doing a fall wreath, black and white, to sort of mimic a black and white check. But I didn't want it to be check because the ribbon has check in it. And wanted to, well, hello, Susan. Come on in. Wave. So what we're doing is we're alternating the mesh. We're doing black with the Woodland Ruffle. We roll it 3 times. I clip it, then I flip it. And then I roll it 3 times here. Then what I do is I just go up the middle with the ruffle. That way I'm getting a curl and a ruffle. Then we're just going to stick it in a tie and give it a twist. We're going to spread our ruffle out and pull it to where it butts up against the other one, and they'll stick to each other and become one. Sort of like a sticky situation. So like I said, we roll it 3 times or 4, whatever your preference is. Hello, Brenda. How are you doing today? See if we can get that in a little straighter. We're going to go up the middle. Stick it in our tie and give it a good twist. Smooth it out, butt it up against the other, and then repeat. Let's get 2 more pieces of mesh here. Go with the black first. Peggy called in the troops. Thank you. Like I said earlier, my name's Carol. I am the owner of Desert Wreath Creations and more. I've crafted for many years. Dabbed in it, I should say. I'm a retired nurse. I've only been living here in South Central Texas for 3 years, though we've had the house here for about 10 now. I was going stir crazy. I've worked my whole life, and I started watching some very talented and unique ladies, and I thought, you know, I've got to do something with my time. Why not make a business out of it and enjoy what I'm doing? Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed being a nurse. I worked as a nurse, and then I worked in hospital administration. And I think the nurse was the best thing I ever did. It was being one-on-one with the patients. I feel for the nurses out there now and the struggles that they go through every day. I still have a lot of friends working in the healthcare field. Just going to open these ties up here. Really not liking this pencil wreath form. It seems like the ties, they're not down very good. So I'm going to have to probably, if the mesh doesn't stick really well together, do something to help it along a little bit. Anyway, we'll keep going. At least my ribbon's sticking to it. Yeah, I didn't even call my daughter and tell her. She's in New Mexico, and she usually gets on there and gets conversations, and she shares and does all of this, and she's been ill lately. Then with everything going on, and then having to homeschool and getting prepared probably to start homeschooling again when fall comes. They haven't made their mind up whether they're going to be opening the schools come fall or not, so anyway. I hope the noise behind me from my air conditioner. My husband gave up one of our small garages for me, seeing how he's got 3 for his boats and stuff. And I have a window unit, and I have the fan on low, but sometimes it creates quite a bit of background noise. I tried doing got a new microphone, and it's supposed to be noise canceling except from your voice, but I tested it out a little bit here and there, and it doesn't seem to have worked. And this mesh is shedding pretty bad. You never know. Yeah, it was 111, 112 here yesterday. It has just been, like I said, it's not, We don't have a lot of humidity even though we're on a lake, but I don't know if y'all can see that. But it was hot. My favorite colors, even though they consider them not colors, is black and white. I'm in Del Rio, Texas. It's about 2.5 hours from San Antonio. Am I pronouncing your name right when I say Willie? Will I? We're nearly through with the mesh. Where are you guys from? Oh, that's very true. Beautiful sunsets and the lightning, yes. My husband loves to sit on the porch during the storm and watch it. Lightens up the whole sky and you can see miles and miles. Where I was raised out in North Fort Worth, there's so many trees and stuff. You did good, even living out in the country, to see the stars at night at times. But here, the sky, when they have different eclipses and stuff, you can see them. Makes it nice. J. Lee with a short A and a light jump. Oh, okay, Houston. Sure is humid there. I lived in Houston, but I was a teenager when I did so. I took time off before I went to college. I lived going out towards Baytown or Beaumont, something like that. It's been so long ago. I was just a youngin' then. I think he likes the going backwards and forth. I think the worst thing he misses was the socialization. And I think that was me too with retiring. Is that when you work in the public for so long, you get used to having that. You keep up on current events a lot easier. Okay. Nice and full. I'll lay it there in front of you. I just love black and white. I'll have to go back and get rid of some of these little tangles. So let's get my ribbon together. I've got this blue here. It's more of a darker blue. I'm trying to pull the blue out in the sign. The pumpkins have a little blue in them. The sign has blue in it. That's why I didn't want to go with just a straight black and white check, because I have ribbon that has black and white check along with some pumpkins. I'm also going to use some rustic orange here. And I didn't cut the pumpkin to go in every tie. Trying to get out of the habit of where you have to have 2 ribbons, 4 different colors, and do something a little bit different for a change. I had just some plain pumpkins, and I took them to get them ready, because even though I do glue mine in, I do like a wire on them. I don't know if you can see that, like a wire, so I can also put them in the tie when I'm through. But I put some blue, mixed some blue paint, and did some accents together, similar to the pumpkin in the picture. So what I'd like to do is, let me get this together. I'm going to move this ribbon off to the side. We're going to go ahead and put our sign on. Then, let me put that up. I don't need it anymore for weight. Man, that's full. But it's so pretty. Make a beautiful Halloween, huh? I have not made not one Halloween wreath. I just can't get in the Halloween. Now the fall, and a lot of people, places like even Hobby Lobby and different places, didn't even put out Halloween, or they're not going to put them out till later. And by then I might be interested in it. So what I did is I've got a metal sign. This sign here came from Brenda at Wreaths by Busy Bee. I took my hole punch, jewelry hole punch, and punched a hole in each corner. I've already got some wire cut, and probably too long of pieces. That's what I do. So I'm just going to run this through. I just didn't know how thick this was going to get. Thanks, Jaylee. Thank you very much. You have a nice afternoon. Hey, Miss Linda. What are you doing? So I'm putting these in all four corners, even though it's a small sign. I'm a little bit on overkill. But I don't want anything coming out. The sign came from Wreaths by Busy Bee from Brenda Gallo. She makes some of the most awesome signs. This is a smaller one. I actually was going to use it on a swag, and I had another smaller one, and I used it on a swag I made, a fall swag I made yesterday. And it also had the check truck, but it didn't have any sayings on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come right over here in between these two ties. I tuck those in there and there. I'm just going to come in here where the ruffle meets each other the same way on the bottom. So it wraps around my frame. I want it to set up on my frame. Yeah, I've bought most of my signs that are metal signs. I've always bought from Wreaths by Busy Bee. She's very accommodating, and you can custom order from her if you can let her know what you're basically looking for. I'm going to do the same thing with the bottom. I'm going to squeeze it between these Woodland Ruffles that we put in. Brenda, do you belong to any of Lori Jacobs's group? Okay, so there's the sign, and I'll trim the back off in here in a few minutes. So I love the blues and stuff. Okay, so the next is we're going to put two bows together. I sort of go about this a little backwards, and then I like to start doing some decorating and stuff with the ribbons on the outside and the pumpkins and stuff. So I use the 4-in-1. It's what I like. Very similar to the Easy Bow. So since we've got, we're going to be using pumpkins and some rust and this blue, I'm going to bring in a couple of more colors. I think I'm going to bring in a little bit of this orange and white check for the back. This ribbon came from Craft Outlet. I'm going to go ahead and dovetail, and that's just cutting to the edges. Since we're going to be putting two bows, over here, over on the opposite side of the sign. We're going to do, let's see, this first one, we're not going to make the tails quite as long, so we're only going to go with, let's try a 10-inch tail. So we're just going to twist it, get these other ribbons out of my way. But I am going to do a 6-inch loop. Twist it again. We're going to do 2 loops of 6 inches. And this is nice ribbon. Really nice. Feels good. Nice and thick. I hate it when you buy ribbon really, I haven't heard anything of her, which, like I said, whoops, just going to bring this one out front. We don't need to twist it. God, I love this ribbon. I'm going to save this for the next bow. So I'm going to back this up with the pumpkin bow, the pumpkin. We're going to go ahead, let's dovetail this. Do about another 10 inches. That looks really nice together. Gonna keep it, we're gonna do a 2-1-2. I'm gonna keep this at 6. So we're just going to do 1 loop on each side here. Hello, Miss Dawn Boland. How are you today? So I'm going to go ahead and sort of straighten these out. Manipulate them. I think that's the word. Put them where they belong. Excuse me, my nose is itching like fire. Now, I'm going to do a brave choice. I'm going to go in with some really blue so we can pick up that sign a little bit more. This is a burlap ribbon. I love burlap. I love working with anything rustic. So we can throw that hint of blue in there. going to make this one just a little bit shorter, probably about a 1/2 inch. Yeah. Make sure we get these even. I'm doing great. I just decided, since I was been gone for 3 weeks and just sort of got my feet wet with my first live, that I better get on the stick. And so I was out here, and I had, since I've been back, all I've done is fall, since all before I left was 4th of July, which I had a huge success when I went down to my dad's and my brother's, selling 4th of July. It was like, and my brother does fireworks, cracker stands every year. And this is the first year he is totally sold out at all of his locations he has. And people, he could have still been selling fireworks. They were just, everyone was in the mood to celebrate. They had been locked up for too long, you know, and they just needed a little freedom and to have a family get together. And but that's before everybody started closing everything back up again. So, but I had a really good time. My dad was basically sicker than what I thought. So we did a lot of doctor's appointments and all while I was there. So now I'm going to come in with a 1.5 inch. I'm going to make these just a little bit longer. Then yesterday, his housekeeper calls and says, "Your dad fired me." I was like, well, he's the boss. And she wasn't doing her job, and, you know, she was basically taking advantage, and she just, I guess, thought that he was too ill to recognize that, and he wasn't. He wasn't too ill to recognize that whatsoever. But I totally enjoyed myself. Okay. Go ahead and pull these. Seeing how I forgot. We're just going to do a little bit of a rustic to pull it back in on the top. And put some tails just for a center loop. Hi, Wanda, first time watcher. How are you today? Yes, she should have taken care of business. You're absolutely correct. You know, it's sad when people come along like that and they're really good at first, and but they see where they can take advantage, and it's just really sad. My dad may be slow, but he ain't very slow when it comes to stuff like that. Okay, got a zip tie. I'm going to go under all these layers. I'm doing great, Wanda. I'm glad you had a chance to join us, and welcome. Just sort of going to rearrange these one last time before I take mine out. I like to get them in position before I take it out. I'm going to set this over here because we're going to do a second bow. I'm going to hold it real tight, and I'm just going to pull it all the way around to the back. Okay. I have, or had, no, there it is, a pipe cleaner or Chanel stem, whatever you want to call them. If you'd like to know when I go live again, Wanda, if you'll push the like button, you'll get notified when I go live. You'll get notified when I do any kind of posting or anything. You're more than welcome to SHARE my videos or spread the love. Facebook doesn't like it when we say the word out loud. So I'm not very good at spelling, but I think that says share the love. Or spread the love, I mean. I'm going to pull it real tight. I'm going to hold on to it. I'm just going to sort of move these back and forth where I want them. They're pretty much already there. I didn't make really long tails because this is the first of two bows. But I am just sort of swinging these deals around. The tails, these deals. And bringing my center loop down. And moving it to where I have a tail on each side. And I think on the next one, we're not going to do it exactly the same. I think we're going to do it a little bit opposite so that we get more of the pumpkin color in. Then we'll do our, put these two on, and then we'll put our tails on. And some embellishments. So let's lay this over to the side. I can go ahead and cut the pipe cleaner off. Hi Jackie, come on in and say hi. Put it over there to the side. And not for long. Let's get this out again. So this time, don't have enough for 4 of that one. So let's do a little different. Let's do the orange again. We're just going to dovetail it. Going to do a little bit longer tails this time, about 12 inches, so they can come down a little longer. Man, this ribbon is a nice ribbon to work with. Thanks, Brenda, for everything. You too. You have a nice weekend. Again, it's going to be 6 inches. Totally twisted that one the wrong way. Okay. Now let's come back in with the blue. Let's go ahead and get these straightened out. Dovetail this one. Hi, Jackie. Just a tad shorter. Just enough. Perfect. Hi, Trish. How are you today? My name is Carol. I'm with Desert Wreath Creations and more. Go ahead and cut that just a little bit. If y'all wouldn't mind liking, spreading the love, I would appreciate it. Lives are something new to me. This was my only second live. I live in Central South Texas. I've been crafting for many a year, and have been retired for 3 from the healthcare profession. And got bored. Started watching a lot of amazing women craft and had learned immensely from them. I'm going to make it just a tad shorter. And I had been doing wreaths and all for fun and for just gifts and different things, and decided that I wanted to see if I could make a little spending money. Well, more than spending money. I've actually opened a business. And so the story goes on. I would enjoy any advice any of you could give me. And I would reciprocate. We're going to do 2 loops. It's sad how beautiful and nice the texture and the workability of the orange and white ribbon is compared to the pumpkin black and white ribbon, which is a thinner ribbon. I guess more of a linen ribbon. But it costs more because they stamp pumpkins on it. Chop that off. I don't like the way that looks. Like that better. Let's get these out front. Move them around. And one last ribbon. Yeah, let's just do a little. Man, it's hot here today. Yesterday was 100, about 111. I'm not going to do a center loop on this one. I think I'll put an embellishment in the center of it. Keeping these tails a little longer. Just going to sort of manipulate them, manipulate the tails, get them all where they need to go. Back up there. Take a pipe cleaner, a zip tie. We'll use a pipe cleaner in a minute. Well, I'm having fun. I hope y'all are enjoying yourself. Thank you, Trish. I'll show you the sign. Let me see if I can turn the wreath a little bit toward you. It's got a lot of blue in it. Right there. With black and white. I'm going to say an old beat up Ford. Going to lift this out of there. So I made one bow prior to this and this bow. But I wanted to bring in some blues. So I'm going to pull my twist tie to the back. I'm going to go ahead and find my pipe cleaner. And I'm going to go ahead and pull the dickens out of it. Flip it over and sort of manipulate it a little bit and get all the kinks out of it. Where are you from, Trish? Inquiry minds want to know, like me. I'm in central South Texas, in a small town called Del Rio, Texas, about 2.5 hours from San Antonio. We have no Michaels, no Hobby Lobby, no anything. Okay, we'll finish fluffing them once we get it up on the deal. See the sign? It has a truck. It's got pumpkins. So I didn't want to go because the truck was black and white check, which I love. Black and white's my favorite. I would use it, wear it, everything all the time if I could get by with it. And so I went with the fold in mesh, and it's a Deco mesh. I wish it was something else because it's fraying like the dickens. And I've used it before, and I think it was the other kind. My sign's a little loose, so I need to tighten it up. So I'm going to go with the first bow on top. I made the tails a little bit shorter. So this bow I did with more of the blue on the top, and the one for the bottom I did more with the pumpkin and the darker on the top. So I'm just going to take it. I'm going to put it up here at the top. Let's get it to where it's not backwards. So I don't want it to go round and around. I don't want it to sink down in my mesh. Fort Worth, North Fort Worth, where my dad lives, and I'm just gonna do a cheater here. I'm just gonna curl these up, pull them down. And it was so hot, I couldn't breathe. So hot. 105 there today. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's been like yesterday here it was 111, 112, and just way too hot. But it's a dry hot, not humid. I can say that. It's dry. It is not humid at all here. Okay. So far, we've got 2 bows. And I'll sort of trim these tails off the top bows. And now what we're going to do is I'm just going to go around and I'm just going to place tails. And I'm only going to do a ribbon at a time. I sort of got tired of having 2 ribbons in each deal. It's nice. I'm just going to smooth them out and pull them up so you can see them. but it seems like it gets to be old habit, and I just sort of want to take a new spin on things. So I'm trying a few new techniques and stuff, and mixing up some different colors that I would have probably never chosen in the past, and all. Been doing a few funky bows here and there and a lot of designs. Sent out a really gorgeous grapevine. New Jersey. Well, hello, Diane from New Jersey. That's one place that I've never been, is New Jersey. So how is the world? Bye, Trish. Thanks for dropping in. So how is the world treating you in New Jersey? I am going to be putting some raffia and some. And then I've also got some little pumpkins that I've already put a hook on, and I'll also glue them. Now, my raffia is a hula skirt from the Dollar Tree, because all you got to do is cut the deal, pull it loose, bend it, put it in a tie, twist it. Then what I do is I make a little loop with my leftover stem. I take my scissors, let me turn it around, then I take my scissors and I just sort of clip out some loose ends that were looped and let it hang willy-nilly. Just going to be placing it here and there, no rhyme or reason. In places I might want it a little thicker, I'm going to put it a little thicker around the side. I'm going to take these, and what I do is I sort of pull them together and I make a loop. Then I sort of bend that loop back in. Then what I do is I take a pumpkin that I added a little paint to. Normally I'd have my glue skillet out, but because I hate a glue gun. It's notorious for burning you. So I loop that in there and then push that tie together. That way it's also wired in and it's also glued to your stem. And then you can manipulate it and bend it however you want it. And it turns out really cute. I actually had these pumpkins in for a while. So what I did is I actually took some paint, some blue and different orange paint, and sort of made them look like the pumpkin on the truck. So that they would have a little bit of a blue accent. So I'm just going to take these two again. I'm going to twist them around each other. I'm sort of going to push it back into it. I'm going to take another pumpkin. I'm going to hit it with some glue. I'm going to loop it through that. It's also glued into the pumpkin. Well, if I can get it around it. And then I squeeze the tie together so it sticks in there really good. And it comes out looking really cute. It's a little raffia. Reminds me of the turtles, the kids' deals from the turtles. Raphael. Think. going to do too. It's just not looking as full as what I want it. Once again, I'm just going to bend it, loop it in there. Take a pumpkin. Get a little glue on that wire. Hook it. Squeeze it. Then mash it onto itself. Spread that raffia out. Like so. Get rid of the knot. Right here, I'm not gonna, I guess I did put ribbon in it. So these are just on a cord. Twist it, make my little, I'm actually going to cut this one off a little bit, a little too long. Okay. And push it down. There we go. Awesome. So that's how it's going to go. I won't bore y'all with the rest of the details. And I'll just need to straighten the bows out a little bit. Curl them some more. Finish putting a little raffia in, and a couple more pumpkins, and we'll be through. I want to thank you for joining me. I hope that you'll come back and spend some time with me again. Like I said, my name's Carol. Hit the subscribe button. It's not a subscribe, but it's a follow button, and it'll let you know every time I go live or I post a new picture or anything like that.